Let's look at South Africa, where we now have a reverse into level 3 lockdown on the virus pandemic. And that is the second day today on the back of rising infestations and fatalities. According to President Cyril Ramaphosa in his State of the Nation address on Tuesday evening. On the brighter side, however, was the president's unexpected announcement that independent power providers can now produce up to 100 megawatts without a license. Let's go down now to Johannesburg, where Peter Major, Director of Mining at Mergence Corporate Solutions, is standing by for us tonight to bring us up to speed on these headlines. Thank you, sir, for making the time despite this time of the evening.
My pleasure, Bosan. It's always great to be on your program.
It's great to be with you. It's great to have you again. How is the latest level 3 pandemic lockdown getting on? You folks in South Africa had gone through level 3 before. You reversed back to level 3. Is it harder now than it was last year?
No, we're ready. We've had almost 15 months of lockdowns, and we can handle level 3 very well. It's not going to have hardly any effect on mining. It's mainly the restaurants and the alcohol sales are going to feel the immediate effect. Unfortunately, churches and large social gatherings, they're going to be restricted. But on the mining side, we always predicted, I did, and a lot of the mining people said, we can handle this lockdown. We can handle this virus. We've dealt with AIDS. We've dealt with tuberculosis. We're used to dealing with tens of thousands of people in small areas. So I don't believe mining is going to be affected literally at all. I think it'll be negligible. What's affecting mining is our infrastructure. It's Eskom, it's electricity, it's transport, our railroads. That's what's affecting it. It's bad policies for the last 15, 20 years. That's what's affecting the whole country. And that is about the only thing that can affect mining now. Even labor is actually working pretty good. So it's our infrastructure that the government was supposed to be taking care of and didn't.
How is life in Cape Town with you, Peter, regarding how you move around, use restaurants or whatever you want to go, have some leisure? Give me that in about a minute.
Okay. It's pretty good. You know, the restaurants have done as well as they can. You have to be out of the restaurant at 9 o'clock because curfew is now 10, but people can adjust to that. Unfortunately, the restaurants still don't have half the business they did before the lockdown. And it's tragic. It makes me cry. The service is good. Cape Town has great restaurants. It's not like in the days of apartheid. Cape Town has fabulous restaurants. But yeah, the people aren't there. The high unemployment, I think, has more to do with it than the lockdown does, Bosan.
But you were talking about the mining activities and the industry as a whole. You said it's likely to have less impact. It means the mines are running and rumbling, as it were, despite this level 3 reversal.
They are. But as I said, it's the infrastructure, the government, state-owned enterprises that are the big impediment to mining doing better here. And especially the bulk mining. Bulk mining is iron ore. We're moving less iron ore than we probably were 15 years ago, maybe even 20. Our railroads are in a shocking state. Our electricity is in a shocking state. And I know that's not a pun. That is what's hurting our bulk miners. They can't move their commodities to the port. And when they get at the port, we don't have any more port capacity than we did 15 years ago. So the rest of the world has been growing for 15 years, and South Africa's policies, bad policies, have made us go in reverse. And unfortunately, too many of the people putting these policies, they are dinosaurs. They're constantly looking in the rearview mirror. They're not looking forward. And that's the problem with our electrical generation. We started a very modern, a world-leading policy of alternative energy here in the new millennium. 202, 203, 204, we were leading the world in having bidding for installing solar photovoltaic and other alternative energies such as wind farms. And then the government actually stopped that. and they've stopped it for 15 years. And President Ramaphosa is now opening that up. But after 15 years, most of the foreigners have left. Most of the money's dried up. So it's good that he's doing this, but please, 15 years late. It didn't have to be like that. We're at the back of the queue instead of the front like we were going to be 15, 20 years ago.
I agree with you, but now it's taken 15 years to come this long for President Ramaphosa to say you can do 100 megawatts independent power providers without a license on the grid. How long do you think it will take to fast track and get South Africa from the back of the wagon to the front of the wagon in terms of electricity provision? Is it going to take 2, 3, 5 years in your opinion? What's the talk in your industry among your peers right now about the president's latest decision or announcement? The asset managers in South Africa gave Mr. President Ramaphosa a thumbs up on this.
Yes. Look, some of the companies can move fast. Some of the mining companies, they can move very quick. I think they can do it in 6 to 12 months. Other companies, it's going to take a little longer. Part of the problem is Eskom has to be a part of this. If a mining company erects a power plant, a solar power plant, if they have electricity that's above what they need to put it back into the system, and they want to get some kind of compensation for it. And that will help Eskom. It'll help the country. But Eskom is in such a state, we're not sure if Eskom can plug these companies in and they can reticulate the electricity in time. But you know what, Bolson? It's better to rush in and do it, find the problems, and address the problems than, unlike Mr. Montage says, we have to plan this, we have to think it through, we have to have round robins, asking if the community's ready, asking if the Eskom's ready, asking if the legislation and parliament are ready. I think it's much better now. Whoever's ready, get it. Go to Eskom, tell them what you want to do. And Eskom, it is being managed correctly from the top down. They got an enormous job. But yeah, it's very welcome by everybody. And that's why our business confidence has shot up so much. This must be the highest it's been in years now. It's only slightly above 50.
I love the announcement when I heard it, because everyone is saying thumbs up for Mr. President, because the entire electricity ecosystem in South Africa, with Eskom in there, a whole lot has to change to get South Africa back to that front of the of the train, as it were. So you're talking about business confidence index. What's the latest reading, my friend?
Yeah, the latest is it shot to over 50, and I think last month it was only 35. And if you can believe it, Bosan, a year ago today, it was at 5. The lowest it's ever been in the history of man, 5 a year ago. That was the low point of the virus. It's not 95 like it was in 1980 when gold hit 1,000, but hey, we're happy 50. That's halfway to the top. And that's how low our expectations are. We are very happy with
that. So
that.
I know you. So you folks are going to be sitting down to review, to look at the mining sector for the second half of the year. We're done with June. We're done with the first 6 months of the year. Technically speaking, what's your outlook? 60 seconds for the mining sector for second half of the year in South Africa.
I think it won't be as good as the last 6 months, but I think it'll be close. The reason it won't be as good is commodity prices are now coming off, and we don't know where they're going to bottom, but they came off big this week, and they could come off even more because of China saying they're going to flood the market with any commodities that need to be. But I think we'll be close. I don't think it's going to drop very much in the next 6 months, so it's okay for mining.
Let's find a way to appease the dragon. That is the Chinese, I mean. It's just say, please, hold it up there for us. We need it. Thank you, Peter Major, Director of Mining at Mergence Corporate Solutions out of Cape Town. So much thanks for having you on the show.
Very much. Thanks for having me.
Have a restful night. Thank you so much, my friend.